What up, YouTube? Reezonoticz back once again with a massive, huge, colossal, unprecedented update to my video game collection slash library. And if you know me and you've seen my videos, or you're a subscriber, or you're familiar with me and my taste in gaming, then it will be no surprise that this update is geared specifically towards the system of my choice throughout all generations, and that will never change. Nintendo 64, a massive Nintendo 64 update. Alright, I'm coming at you with some games that were donated to me by Mercury, S. Boyles, as you may see him by his YouTube name. Very special brother, man. He's a good friend of mine. Some of these games, the games that he donated me, I put on another update video, but I'm just including them in this N64 update video because I've gotten a lot of N64 games since my last N64 collection video or N64 update. So I'm just going to jump right into it, show you each game, talk a little bit about it, whether I played it, whether I haven't played it, what I've heard, what I know, and, just do my normal thing, you know what I'm saying? So here we go. First and foremost, one of the games that Mercury donated to me was Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. Okay, Rainbow Six. This is it's an action strategy game. Really, I have not played this particular version, the N64 version yet. I did put it in, pop it in, turn on the system, saw that it worked, moved on to the next game. Didn't really get to play it much. I do have a version of it on PlayStation 1 called Lone Wolf, I believe, or Operation Lone Wolf, or something like that. I don't think they're that different. I mean, I wouldn't think so. Rainbow Six games are usually all the same. I'm glad to have it in my collection, but I am not a very big Rainbow Six fan because it is just too ultra realistic. And when you play games, you need that element of fantasy. You need that element that suspends reality because if it gets too real, too realistic, it loses the fun of being a video game, in my opinion. But still, it's a good game for those of you who like this type of game. Rainbow Six. Glad to have it in my collection. Thank you, Mercury. Next, I want to move on to, the other game that Mercury donated to me, and that is Road Rash 64. All right, now I played the Road Rash series back in the day. If I'm not mistaken, my memory is a little foggy. It may have been on the PlayStation 1. I believe I played some of it on the Genesis back in the 16-bit era. Very fun series. Combat racing type series. I have not played this one particularly. Again, I'm falling behind, but I did pop it in. It does work. So I'm thankful to Mercury for this. It's Road Rash 64, baby. Road Rash, like I said, is a popular series back in the day, and everything is better when you tag on the 64 at the end of the title. Just makes it better. You know what I'm saying? Now, moving on to the games that I purchased this past Sunday, I believe it was, or Saturday at Play and Trade. Once again, Play and Trade is God's ultimate gift to the gamer. All right, so let's just move on from here. First of all, this is a game. Matter of fact, it's so funny because in my way to Play and Trade, I knew I was gonna get 64 games, and I thought to myself, how awesome would it be if I can get this game that I used to play back in the day with my cousins when the N64 first launched? Very low budget game, very under the radar game. Not many people may know about it or own it, but I loved it, and I actually found it, so had to get it, and that is Aero Gauge. Okay, see that right there? Let me get it right in the camera. There we go. Aero Gauge. This is basically a futuristic racer, F-Zero type racer, but it's got a little bit more diversity than F-Zero in the sense of the way you control your vehicle. You can control the altitude, while you're racing and while you're on jumps and all that. You can control the altitude and the left and right a lot more than you can in the F-Zero series. The F-Zero series is more grounded. The vehicles are more grounded. Where in this, they're more like hovercrafts, and you can, like I said, control the altitude, go up and down. It's got some funky music, good soundtrack, nice graphics, especially for a 64 launch title. This came out like the first couple months that the 64 was out, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But just a big fan of the game, and I'm so glad I got it, and it's now part of my collection. Aero Gauge on the N64. Okay, next. I had heard so much about this game, read so many reviews, never played it while the N64 was running heavy. Never got around to playing it, just didn't call my attention. But I'm pleased to say I saw it, purchased it, played a couple of races, couple of half hour or so of the game, and I really enjoyed it. Really thought that this game has a lot of potential. Can't wait to really get into it and see how much more it has to offer. And that is none other than I'm sorry, Beetle Adventure Racing. I didn't know if it was Volkswagen Beetle or Beetle. Beetle Adventure Racing. Okay, from what I had always understood of this game, reading reviews and all that, it's kind of like a Diddy Kong Racing. It's like a racing slash adventure game, using the Volkswagen license and the also popular Beetle car. So there you have a look at the game. I did play a few races, and a couple of tracks that I did race across had like 5 or 6 shortcuts each, which was just amazing. It just made every lap different and exciting. Very nice graphics, very good controls, nice soundtrack. Can't wait to really get into this one. Coming up next, this is a classic futuristic racer along the lines of an F-Zero or an Aero Gauge. It was an N64 exclusive when it first came out. It spawned, I believe, 2 sequels, one on the 64, one later on the GameCube, and that is Extreme G. Man, did me and my cousins love playing this game. My cousin bought it. I had rented it. Just an amazing futuristic racer. You race on these bikes that are kind of very, very reminiscent of Tron. Have you ever seen Tron? The bikes look just like that, but they got weapons, and as you race, you can pick up power-ups, kind of like Mario Kart, but with missiles and lasers and bombs and all that. And it's just the tracks are out of this world. Loop-de-loops, free falls, 90-degree falls, jumps, all that, man. Just great graphics and a bumping soundtrack. Let me tell you, this game has some funky electric music, electric dance music, rave, trance type music in the soundtrack, and it was just off the chain. So just a great game. I'm very happy to have it. Moving on to another classic. This game that I'm about to introduce was a classic on the Nintendo 64. Again, never got to play it in its heyday, but I had always had it in the back of my mind like, yo, I know this game is out there. I gotta get a hold of it, especially if I call myself a collector. And lo and behold, I found 2 copies of it in a play and trade, and I picked the one that was in best condition. And it is a game that is made by Rare, so you already know if I'm talking N64 and I'm talking Rare, then I'm talking the top dogs on N64, makers of Banjo-Kazooie, GoldenEye, Donkey Kong 64, Perfect Dark, so many great titles. Well, this one is Jet Force Gemini. Okay, I had never played this game back when it had first come out. Played it for the first time yesterday, believe it or not, and I must say, Rare did it again. I know I'm the last one to know that. Pretty much everybody knows that because they played this game, but it's just an amazing action shooter. You play in the third-person perspective. It's an alien invasion, a hostile alien race invading. I don't know if it's a planet or a system of planets, but you're called in to investigate and to help deter the alien threat. Just an amazing, amazing game. Graphically stunning. Soundtrack on point. Action never ending. It's just a great, great title. Jet Force Gemini. Next, this game was a mistake in the sense that I did not pick this game, but they charged me for it. I guess because they had it on the counter and they mixed up my games. But when I saw it was only 99 cents, I said, what the hell? I don't have a game like this on the N64. I mean, I have an arcade one, but not a real simulation one. And that is NHL 99. I have Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey, as you know. Great arcade sports game, but this is a actual simulation sports game of hockey. Have not played it yet. I do know that it works, so I popped it in and checked it out, but I haven't played it yet. 99 cents. Come on, man. 99 cents for a 64-bit game. Come on. Can't lose. And last but not least, WCW Mayhem. Okay, I was always anxious to play this game because I own pretty much all the WCW and WWE games on the N64, and I never ever played this one, and I was really anxious to play it. Gotta say, I did play it yesterday. Slightly disappointed. Nowhere near as good as Revenge or World Tour or WWE No Mercy or WrestleMania 2000. Nowhere near that level. But still a decent wrestling game. It's made by EA Sports. That's the problem. It's made by EA and not THQ. So the grappling system is all out of whack. The graphics are but it's still WCW. You got all the WCW wrestlers: Sting, Goldberg, Nash, Hogan. All that. Great, great roster. That's about it for my update. I'm out of time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's any game on this list or in my N64 collection that you would like me to review. Believe it or not, this update